Hey guys, my name is Garrett, and welcome to episode 20 of Attila's Trek. Attila's Trek is my devlog series, and as you can probably tell by the title and the video length, this is going to be a little bit of a different video. For those of you that don't know, I released the game that I was previously working on last Monday, and I'm pretty much done the development of that game. So I didn't really do much game development this week, so this video is going to be more of a post-mortem on my last game and also a channel update and what my future plans will be. So this will be a little bit of a longer rambly video, so I will have a recap at the end of the video if you want to check that out instead. Before we start, does anyone else think it's super cool that Keanu Reeves is going to be in Cyberpunk 2077? I didn't think it could get any cooler. So this past Monday, I released my game Breedom 7, and no one actually asked about the name, but the reason why I chose that name is a play on words of Freedom 7, so Breedom, Freedom, since it's a breeding game, and Freedom 7 was actually the NASA mission that got the first American into space, which was Alan Shepard. So yeah, it's a little sort of nerdy name, and it's not my favorite name, but that's really all I could come up with, and I'm not unhappy with it, but it could have been better. But that's not really the important part. The important part is about the game itself. Overall, I think it was good. I don't think it was great. I don't think it was bad. I think it was good. Execution-wise, it was okay. I did imagine the scope, I think, to be too big whenever I was previously planning it, although I didn't do a ton of planning. The idea I had in my head was a lot bigger than what actually came out, but it wasn't vastly different. I obviously would have liked it to be a little bit more, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I did think I turned out with a great game. The game itself was kind of short. It's like 10 to 20 minutes to play through, which isn't bad. And it is a free to play game, but I kind of wish it was a little bit longer and had more replay value. Right now it really doesn't, and even with my original idea, it doesn't really. But that's okay. I think that's something I need to account for in my future games, or at least make the single playthrough that you do play through more worth it. Another thing that kind of disappointed me was actually I had to take out some features. I don't know if any of you guys realize, but the smooth rotation of the rocket and the free look of the camera had to be taken out because I was using the Unity editor libraries, and apparently you can't build games with that. I think there is some workarounds, but I couldn't get that figured out either, which was kind of unfortunate. But this also goes to show me that I should probably build a game sooner than a day before release. Sunday was the first time I actually built the game and exported it to WebGL, and I got those errors, and after spending a little bit of time trying to fix those errors, I ended up just having to take out the code completely, which kind of sucked, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Thankfully, it wasn't any crucial features, because that would have been really bad. So at least that's a note for me in the future that I should build my games more often, because in the end, it's not the Unity editor that you're playing the game in, it's whatever site you're playing or download. So I should do that more often. In terms of the marketing of the game, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. The only thing I really had going for me was these devlogs, and I didn't spend a ton of time advertising it. Like, I obviously spent time making my videos better and trying to do a little bit of keyword research and whatever, but I really didn't spend a whole lot of time marketing. I did post a bit on Twitter and Instagram, but really all I posted was the weekly announcement for the devlog, and I didn't do a whole lot of interaction there, so I didn't really grow, and also I wasn't getting a lot of engagement. It was more just the organic YouTube traffic. And so I'm not upset by this. It wasn't really my focus, and I don't really enjoy social media marketing. I do want to improve it because I feel like that's pretty crucial to growing as a game developer, but that's not the worst thing in the world to me right now. In terms of productivity, it was actually great. Not maybe compared to other people, but for me it was great because at least like last year, I don't think I really spent much time at all making games. I did have work and I was working a lot, but I really enjoyed making games, and I really didn't sit down much last year to actually make games. And at the beginning of this year, I made a promise to myself that every weekday I would spend 15 to 30 minutes working on a game, and I did that for, I think I missed maybe like 1 or 2 days so far. But I did consistently work on a game, and that resulted in my finished product, which is Breedom 7. And so I'm really proud of that. Sometimes it was on the shorter side, sometimes it was closer to 15 minutes, more so than 30. But I was making consistent progress, and that's what I wanted, especially during school days, whenever I had other work to do, I still managed to get some progress done in my game, and I'm really proud of that. And so I'm hoping for this next game, because it's in the summer and I should theoretically have more time, I'm going to try to bump it up to 30 to 45 minutes per day, just so I can get more progress done and hopefully end up with a bigger game. In terms of the feedback for the game, it was pretty good. I got a few comments and feature suggestions and bug reports from a few people, so I really appreciate those comments. I updated the game to version 1.02, so I fixed some stuff and added a little bit. So overall, with the reviews and the feedback on the videos and the game itself, I felt really supported by the community, so thank you guys so much for even just looking at it and playing and following me on this journey. I really don't plan on updating it much more. I don't really want to add features. I'm kind of done with it. I'm still proud of it, but I'm done with that. I want to move on. If there's any game breaking bugs or easy fixes or added features, I will work on that, but I'm probably done with the development of it as a whole. So that's pretty much a post-mortem of the game. Now we're going to do a post-mortem of Attila's Trek. And I really shouldn't call it a post-mortem. I should call it more of a reflection, because I am definitely not done doing Attila's Trek. When I started this devlog series, I didn't really know what to expect. I saw other people doing it and saw them getting good feedback and reception, and I felt like not only would it be a way to help me market, but it would be a good way to connect with other indie game developers, as well as keep me productive. And I feel like this devlog series has done all three of those things. I've had so much fun doing it. I love editing the videos. I love posting them and seeing your comments. I love interacting with other devloggers and the community. And honestly, sometimes I like making the videos more than the game itself. I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but I feel like I just love the process of making something and then showing it. Video editing and sort of animation and film is something that a side interest of mine. I really love editing the videos and adding animations and just improving little bits of it. I feel like my videos just get so much better each week. And looking back on episode 1 and looking at last week's episode, there's such a huge difference and there's so much improvement. And I love seeing that, and I hope that continues for the rest of the episodes. And so me posting consistent, and I like to call it quality content, I've jumped from 3 subscribers when I started the series to now 64. And not many people really celebrate milestones at 64. I think usually the first big milestone is 100, but I'm more than happy to celebrate 64 right now. I pretty much grew it from nothing, and I'm really happy that I grew to 64. There are 64 people out there who want to see my content, and I'm really, really happy about that. So this whole Attila's Trek devlog thing has gone so well, and I'm not sure exactly what I expected at the start, but it has exceeded my expectations, and I will continue to do it for as long as I can. And also, just to clarify, Attila's Trek is not a name of the game. It's kind of just a show name, if you want to call it. Attila being Attila the Hun, and I'm Tons of Hun Studios, kind of as a mascot, and a trek as in a journey. So just wanted to clear that up also. Since I said that I'm continuing Attila's Trek, you're probably wondering what is next for the channel, what's my next game, what's going to happen in the future. So I set a few goals and sort of restrictions that will guide me for the next few months. They're not necessarily cemented and final, but this is what I'm going for right now. So my first sort of restriction, and actually I'm not going to do it for this game, is that I want to make space games and futuristic sort of games. So I feel like if I restrict myself to one theme of game, like space, it'll be a lot easier for my future games because I will have experience making different space art assets and sort of getting myself immersed in that world and sort of the ambience of the world. Even if it's 2D or 3D or pixel art or low poly or realistic, it will sort of help me if I theme my games similarly because I will have experience doing previous art that's going to be similar to my next game. And so as it is right now, I don't think my next game will actually be space themed, but that's something I'm looking for in the future just to help me become better at what I'm doing. I also really like space, so I'm down to make space games. The next restriction is that I'm going to continue using the Unity game engine. And this is something that's not hard for me at all. I love Unity. I've used Unity for like 4 years now. And although there's part of me that kind of wants to branch out and at least get myself familiar with other engines, I know Unity pretty well, at least the most out of any engine, and I've had no problems with it, so I'm going to continue using that. And so the next restriction on my games is that I'm going to try to make games that are more impactful, that are more sort of helpful to people, games that maybe just aren't purely for entertainment. So this might include games that are generally helpful, games that are sort of therapeutic, games that are emotional, games that make people think, more deeper games that are more experiences rather than just pure fun and entertainment. So this is something that has sparked more recently. I've been seeing some stuff with actually VR applications helping people with PTSD, helping people with anxiety, helping in healthcare, and I feel like there's just a lot of different applications of games that can kind of help people more than just provide them entertainment, but can actually help them mentally. And so although I don't plan on developing in VR at the moment, I want to get sort of more on that path, and I think that can be accomplished with regular games too. So this might sort of be a stretch in my current situation. I'm not great at making games yet. I'm good, but I'm not great, and in terms of the marketing, I kind of suck. But I feel like I want to get myself started on this path. Even if it's just like one person who plays my game and like, hey, like that really helped me. Like that would mean a lot to me. And although I do like making games, for entertainment, and there is some benefit of entertainment, I feel like if I have more of a focus on truly helping people, that will not only motivate me to keep making games, but I'll actually make more of an impact on the world. And so when I explain my next game idea in next week's episode, it'll kind of make more sense. But I want to start doing stuff that's more impactful. And like I said, it might sort of be a stretch right now, but I want to kind of get myself on that path. So now let's talk about my future with social media. Right now, I plan on focusing on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Discord. So obviously, I want to focus on YouTube because I've been doing these devlogs, and I feel like I'm getting the most growth as it is right now purely from YouTube. So I'm going to really focus on that, trying to get better keyword research, trying to interact with the community more, and just trying to make better videos. I also want to focus on LinkedIn is because I'm still a student. I still don't have a quote-unquote full-time job, but that's because I'm still in college. And so I feel like if I push LinkedIn and get myself more exposed to the market there, maybe some people from different games companies will see me, and maybe I'll have a job lined up when I graduate from college. And finally, I want to focus on Discord, and this also goes with LinkedIn, but I feel like LinkedIn and Discord are examples of social media that are more personalized, where it's more focused on a person rather than a number. And so although I haven't used Discord a ton, and I've said before that I really don't use Discord, I want to focus on it more because at least the times that I have been using it, it's been a great experience. I feel kind of connected to the people, and that's just on the surface right now. I feel like if I immerse myself more in those communities, I will connect with people a lot more. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't plan on making my own Discord because, like I said, I don't really use it a lot, but I'm going to try to use other people's communities more and just interact there as much as I can. And so my final and quantitative goal is to have 100 YouTube subscribers by the end of summer. I managed to get 64 in about 5 or 6 months, and so I think it's a reasonable goal by the end of summer, which is about September for me. to reach 100. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the next game. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail right now in this video, but next week's episode I will have a lot more information. So as it is right now, this game will be known as Project Forgiveness. And the reason behind that is because the game is going to be themed and sort of have a message around forgiveness. All I'm really going to say right now is going to be a 2D game, and it's going to be one of those more impactful games, and it's going to be dealing with forgiveness as a theme. And so my goal for that game is to finish it by the end of the summer, so you can expect a release around the end of August or the beginning of September. Like I said, I'll talk about it more in the next episode. So to recap everything, I released Breedom 7, and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't plan on developing it much more, but it is out there and playable. Also with the Attila's track, I have loved it so much and plan on continuing that. And finally, my next game will be a 2D game themed around forgiveness, and you can see more details about that in the next week's video. And on a final note, I just want to thank all of you guys so much for watching, all my subscribers, all my commenters, anyone who's played my game, anyone who's even looked at my videos. I really appreciate it. Like, this community has been one of the best I've ever seen. I'm so glad I started getting myself in this community. Everyone is so supportive and everyone's doing great stuff. I just love watching other people's devlogs and just seeing how they're growing along with me. I feel like it's sort of like this rivalry kind of thing, but like a friendly rivalry where we're all trying to get better, we're all improving, and I can see my videos getting better because of other people's videos and vice versa. And it's just such a great community to be a part of. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, so much for supporting. You guys motivate me to keep doing this, and I will keep doing this as long as I can. So on that final note, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in next week's episode. Oh, and I promise I'll keep singing in next week's episode.